Now, I don't think I'd be surprising anyone if I said Oddworld is one of those franchises that not only has become intertwined with the theming of my channel, but has kind of also been the launchpad for it as well. I mean, think about it. This is one of the first games that left an impact on me on the original PlayStation, and Abe's Odyssey ended up being the first game that I did a playthrough for on this channel, all the way back in 2010 with
They will whistle. They will whistle.
Questionable quality, to say the least. I guess that's why when New and Tasty released, it kinda got me a chance to give my channel a soft reboot.
Hang on a minute. This is the remix of the Rupture Farms music that was in the trailer. This is fantastic. I'm so happy.
And since that playthrough, we've kind of found the format that I've been doing my videos in for the duration of the mid-2010s to today.
I tried to roll into a run jump and fell off. I should have done the one step, and I didn't. There we go. Knew something stupid was gonna happen.
Fast forward 13 years from that first playthrough, and I find myself seeing members of the speedrunning community for the Oddworld games not only regularly showing up in my chat, but also including me in community events. Take, for example, 2022's Oddysee Open. I found myself having conversations on a daily basis with people who are in the top 20 speedrunners. Geeky Lucy, event organizer by day and professional pool player by night. Mark the Wolf, a former community head who did most of the setup and tutorials that still keep running this game today. Namesu not only regularly runs the game on a weekly basis, but has been shaving seconds off their personal best even this year. Lauren's Odyssey, who'd only been running the game for about 3 months when the Odyssey Open came along, and has already found herself sitting in the top 15. And Murky.
Welcome to the Monday stream. We're playing Munch's Odyssey, and also I'm getting people married in my Twitch chat.
A complete wild card.
Golly, that escalated quickly. I am purely monogamous. I appreciate the invitation.
Look, I had been scouring for footage of me not telling off Murky in my chat. This was the only one I could really find. Using it now means I don't have to salvage that footage for the Munch's Odyssey playthrough. Yeah, I guess that works. Whether people have been speedrunning the game since its PlayStation 1 release, whether they had only started running it 3 to 4 months before this tournament started up, we're looking at quality runners within what was at the time the top 20 players in an any percent run for this game. And why I, a casual player, decided to put my hand up and compete against people of this caliber seems like a bit of a strange decision, but I had been doing content for about 12 years and this was the game that launched it. So sooner or later I needed to ask the question, am I ready to finally try speedrunning Oddworld Abe's Odyssey? But before we get started, I probably need to clear the air. Marley, this sounds awfully similar to the videos that AlphaRad did revisiting his Super Mario Odyssey speedrun.
What's crazy to me is that a lot of people don't realize how casual speedrunning can truly be.
This has definitely been done before. Jacob's videos do an incredibly good job of showing what a casual player goes through trying to learn complicated tech on a short time frame. Something I inadvertently did to myself with this tournament. A speedrun-centric channel will know how to talk about content like this way better than someone who plays a game casually. In other words, me. Just because I've been doing content creation for 13 years and Abe's Odyssey was the first game I recorded, doesn't necessarily mean it's the best go-to for speedrunning. And with that in mind, we gotta start from the beginning. What experience did I have coming into this ordeal that I had got myself into? Have I actually played through Abe's Odyssey in a fast capacity before? Well, no. In terms of actually looking at save files I have of Abe's Odyssey, I played the PAL version, which is inherently slower, and the save file that I have on my old PlayStation 1 memory card was sitting at about 4.5 hours. Hey everyone, Marley from the future here, and I thought that I had found what the actual time was for my save file on my memory card, but that's not how long I'd been playing for. That's the time since I last saved. I apparently spent nearly an hour before I needed to save again, but how long have I been playing for? This information doesn't help me. Dang it, Stoopy! So, the first thing I needed to do was understand what is the best way to play this game fast, and where am I actually sitting in terms of playing this game any percent. Cue me doing a monthly process of attempting the One Life Challenge. A challenge where you play through an Oddworld game trying to get as far as possible without using quick save, saving as many Mudokons as possible, and without dying once. While Abe's Odyssey doesn't have quick save, playing it without dying once and saving as many Mudokons as possible was kind of like the shallow end of the pool to playing an any percent run. Pleasant music. So in some ways it kind of gave me a throughput from the PAL version on PlayStation into playing the NTSC Speed PC version. Of all the things in the world that could cause problems, there are 3 that are going to be massive time sinks. Native Mudokons with slingshots, Ellen moving slowly, and swinging rocks. We will come back to those because they are the bane of my existence. Long story short, beyond doing one life practice, I had not even considered speedrunning this game before, and at the time of the tournament, I was the only person whose name was nowhere on speedrun.com for any of the Oddworld games. However, I did have a run on speedrun.com, but of Zul Redimension, both the Redimension mode and Ultimate Ninja mode. And playing through Redimension mode kind of got me into that kick of going, one childhood favorite down, maybe Abe's Odyssey isn't as impossible as I thought. I mean, it's nowhere near as fast-paced as Zul, but it's a game I'm passionate about. Maybe this is doable. Fast forward then. Dropping the box on the floor. Fast forward to 2022, and in the OddSpeed Discord, Geeky Lucy makes an announcement that the Oddysee Open is happening. A tournament between speedrunners to see who can get through a glitchless any percent run as quickly as possible and be named the champion of speedrunning Abe's Odyssey. And yes, because I've been doing one life runs for a year and a half and had just done 2 speedruns of Zul, I figured I genuinely want to give this a shot. Granted, it does mean that once my name is on there, I am going to need to practice a lot. So after the brackets were determined, I sat myself down, scheduled all my streams for November, and went, we are practicing how to speedrun this game. I am going to learn the tech, I'm going to prepare myself, and it is going to be interesting to say the least. Regardless of what happens now, I'll at least have a full time, so we'll go with that. And if it works this time, I have no explanation. Now, I'm not sure whether hindsight is telling me that I took the right decision, but the first run I did to practice for this race was actually doing a any percent run of Abe's Odyssey without having learned any of the tech. Bye! While it's not a good representation of how long a speedrun run would be, so this is mostly a case of I need to work out where I'm sitting without the strats before I start integrating them, otherwise I'm going to focus so much on trying to do the strats I won't play the game. It was a good decision to make sure I knew what I was going through. Yeah, but where's Ellum? Game. And then nothing was going to catch me off guard that I wouldn't at least have some kind of practice with. Yes! I made it! You silly glitchy horse! Overall, there were a lot of areas that have massive time saves I can accomplish. Thank you! I knew this would be the fastest one. However, I didn't submit it to speedrun.com for one very specific reason. Because I went for a toilet break 57 minutes in, that technically invalidates the run. Oh, last week Lindblom mentioned to me that, yeah, it's going to be at the bottom of the leaderboard, but I might go back to it if I want to get a sub 1 hour time. Toilet time will be added on. If you're saying I should, you know what? I'll do it after the stream. That personal best counts. It at least gives me a rough estimate of how long a non-speedrun centric run of Abe's Odyssey would go for me, which is roughly 2 hours. And you know what? Considering I used to average 4 to 6, that's pretty good. Gave us a baseline to work off at least. As much as speedruns are about understanding the best pathing in a game and working out the most efficient way to handle it, I have an uncanny tendency to find myself in situations I have not prepared for.
It can't end like this. It can't end like this. I can make this work. Oh my goodness, I can make this work.
And then have to bullshit my way out of it effectively. So for me, the best starting point was actually start learning some of the techniques used by speedrunners in Abe's Odyssey. Maybe I should make this a series. Not only are there dedicated tutorials for certain parts of the game to better understand screens and areas, but there's also just a basic movement guide on speedrun.com of effectively the inputs you need to best move out of a roll, move into a run, and run jump. One of the most important pieces of tech that I needed to learn right off the bat. Dang it, no. How? What is it? Wait, if I run off the edge, how would that go? Okay, that won't go well at all. Oh, conceptually, yes, but no. What? Be within firing range. Ah! I'm gonna try something very stupid here. Or I'm missing the jump entirely. This doesn't feel like something I could pull off. Right on that tile though. Ow! That bothers me. That bothers me a lot. I don't... And now I need to match it. The roll buffers the jump? That's nuts. I am learning something about Abe's Odyssey. Now I just need to get to that next section. Yeah. Tech number 1. Learn how to jump properly. That's amazing. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Now, I know... Now, this is where I get confused. This is the fantastic thing about some of the tech that does go into running Abe's Odyssey. It effectively means I have better ways of doing other parts of the game. And if I find myself in a situation where I'm presented the same puzzle, I'm happy with that. That's good. I can go, how did I do this last time? That was different. Even when I didn't understand the pathing of running in certain screens that normally I would casually creep through, I was already noticing that there were certain parts of my movement that I needed to tidy up. Oh, however, I knew I could do better. It is. It has to be a buffer. That being said, I look back at myself practicing and I didn't really get it at the time either. What did I do differently that time? Especially if you get to talk to one of the regular runners of this game, you want to jump into the screen with the slicks? They have ways of explaining the simpler version of the same tricks effectively. I figured that was the... I'm just gonna do it like that from now on. Thank you guys, I very much appreciate it. We've all been here, streaming is the best way, and I appreciate it immensely. Immensely. If you're okay losing that little bit of time, it gives you a chance to learn the tactic a bit more reliably. And at this point, I needed reliable strategies, not fast strategies. Just run off. I'll just run off. Jeez, I'm so... See, this is the tricky thing. That one I knew. That one I knew. Yeah, it's terrifying. It takes the game to a whole new level. Now it's there, and the other jump is there. Nah, I choked. With this last part, usually what they do is they get behind the slug and chant. I don't know if I am comfortable enough doing that as yet. How the heck does this work? Because it scares me, and I don't get it. Middle one, sort of. That's what you meant by sort of. That's what you meant by sort of. I understand now. Right. So... Okay, I gotcha. I pulled it off immediately. And that was really satisfying. Immediately, I had a simpler way of solving a puzzle, and it became really easy to grab onto. There's probably a way of doing this league fast. Sort of like that. So... Step, then chant, then step, then running roll. Okay, no. The way I've been seeing record holders run this, I didn't fully understand how it worked. The biggest problem becomes, how do I communicate what inputs I'm using to my audience but don't have any visible way of showing them my inputs on screen? We needed to work out the best way of working through this without an input on screen. It meant I could actually directly ask them, what am I doing wrong? What am I overlooking? What aren't we thinking about? Buffering movement is the way I described it quite frequently during my practice. It sort of confuses the game into not hearing you enter the screen, I think. There we go, got it! I have no idea how I did that though. That's, that hurts. That's the thing that hurts, is I have no idea what I did differently. So I've been trying that for 10 minutes and I've pulled it off once, so by all means, Moozy, if you know what it was that I did right, please do say, because I don't actually know what I did differently. Okay, that one I'm able to work out. Now this one I'm nervous about. Oh, right, okay, right, because he's not at the ready. That makes sense. That has immediately made everything on the planet make more sense. Thank you, Limbo. Very much appreciated. There we go. Flattered by the amount of feedback people have been giving me too. I was not planning on doing it that way, but sure. This illustrates what Oddworld's greatest strength is. There is never a single solution to a puzzle. Absolutely. Heck yeah! There are always multiple ways to approach a solution. Actually. Yes! Because I've never tried doing this before, so this is all a test. Wait, I meant to go to the bottom. I meant to go to the bottom. I think I meant to just run off the edge. Oh, okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I just have to get the jump right. Now, if I've done that correctly, I wonder if, as I run into that screen, if just holding the jump button gives me enough spacing. Because if so, I'll just do that. Technically, tricking something into behaving differently does count as a solution. Yeah, okay. Except I've got the, yeah. How? We were hitting a point where less is more seemed to be the mantra of how we were solving these screens. In order to learn some of the really simple tech, I needed to completely change my attitude to how I play this game. Oh, biscuits. Especially if in a split second, I need to incorporate it into a space I haven't practiced for. Okay, cool. Yep, I just scared the birds away. But other than that, sure. I think the reason it took me so long to get used to it is because that might work in Abe's Odyssey, but that's not going to work in New and Tasty. And I'm starting to understand that that is probably the reason why New and Tasty doesn't click for a lot of people, because things that work here don't work here. And I guess from a speedrun perspective, I kind of get that. I think both the funniest and the most annoying thing about Caramonian Temple is you spend a lot of time learning how certain tech works throughout the game, and it feels like you're so close. That is insane. But the rules have ever so slightly changed. Except for that part, Except for that part. That part can get in the bin. And I was incredibly humbled to have members of the speedrun community, oh, that still scares me, give me feedback on how I was misunderstanding the tech. Dang it, no. Nah, dang it. So as it was, while some people were doing Scribania first, there is a reason I did Paramonia first. One, because I find that there are parts of Paramonia that can be run enders, and I prefer to get them out of the way first. But two, okay, well that was completely unideal. Well, I got rid of the slog. I'm just stubborn. I don't know what to say, I'm just stubborn. I think the reason I love this part of my speedrun practice so much is because not only did it catch off a bunch of regular runners in my chat, yes, but it also became something I could pull off repeatedly. Yes! I did it! And that ability to replicate it, the fact that I found something that was my own kind of felt cool. Damn it! Now, initially when I was practicing for the tournament, the one area I had the most uncertainty about was the temples, because I didn't know how I'd be able to necessarily make them quicker. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong if I try and do advanced strategies that I can't pull off consistently. It's a tiny thing that makes a world of difference. Those strategies don't click with my brain. And this is where I hit that point of going, can I speedrun Abe's Odyssey? I'd got halfway through the game and I was now starting to be skeptical. But I knew without a shadow of a doubt, especially on the day, this one actually just scares me. This is going to be the run killer. The areas I would have the most trouble with, Trials 2 and 4. This one is easier in Oddworld Adventures. Worst case is, I tackle them in a way that I know I can replicate. And if the speedrunner strategies aren't gonna work, I'll just do it like that. Jeez. I'll just do those screens as per normal. So now it begs the question of, what is the most consistent way to tackle Scribania and Scribanian Temple so that I'm race ready for it? Now for that. If I go there... Not what I wanted. Now you may recall earlier in the stockyards I was talking about buffering inputs. Because before I went there... Wait! I remember when Lucy was practicing Zulog 3, she did something where she made the slig. That's what it was! That's what it is! Yes! Have I learned turn buffering? Is that what's happening here? Don't do it, Ellen. To those who are still tuning in, I hope you're as entertained as I am, because I'm having fun. There we go! Got it. That's just how I blow myself up. That's not what I'm going for at all. That's the opposite of what I want. It's still in the realm of this is essential to learn. Perfect! Hope you're excited for Christmas. Hope you're excited for speedruns on the weekend. Hope you got all of your end of year affairs in order and things are going well. Oh! And I hope your game isn't crashing like mine is. That was catastrophic. Alright, let's try this again. Moment of truth. It's a bit of a pain. Run off the edge, turn, jump. I will get this. I will get this. It's all in the movement. Now I need to double check. I think it'll let me do this. It might not. Yeah, it should let me do this. Last time I tried it, it did. Alright, so we should be able to go jump, jump, jump. And I should have moved a square forward. Ah, dang. And then there's just stuff that I had fun playing around with to see if I could turn it into a strategy. But if I've done this correctly, I'll fall down the pit. Right, so that's sorted. You can roll past him when Ellum is following you. You don't say, Blue, you don't say. There is something incredibly humbling about having speedrunners for these games sitting in my chat and giving me feedback and context to better understand how to run these games faster. That makes no sense! How? Ah, he booched it. The best. Oh! That's why it's a right throw. Just makes me happy. I thought maybe I jumped from the wrong spot. As such now, the only area I think I really need to especially practice, is jumping over landmines. That's actually a good clip, I'll keep that in. Come on, Ellum. Faster, buddy. Now this bit, it's gonna be buffering the jumps past slogs. I'm just gonna make sure I get them right. Oh, that was easier than I thought. Yes! Yes, that felt good. Oh, yes. Oh. Now, Candle, does a rolling jump work on the ground or only with ledges? Because if I can use it to skip that UXB, I will. Only with ledges, thought so. Oh, that'd do it. Jeez, like, you think? Something about this doesn't seem right. Yeah. So a lot of the text, I decided to completely abandon it, because at the end of the day, what I want more than anything is something that is replicatable, that I as a novice can consistently pull off. And I figured if I can't do that, it is not worth even investigating. So that means quite a lot of the advanced tech in some of these trials, which saves upwards of about 2 minutes, was not going to be on my radar. Yes! No! Oh, I thought I'd worked out the puzzle. I had not. I had got myself stuck in the wall. Well, that's just rude. That's just rude more than anything. But with that 5 weeks were up, I'd gone through the game from start to finish in my own time. I'd learned some of the tech, repeatedly attempted it in multiple spots, and got a better appreciation for how to handle the temples and some of the hardest screens of the game. And I'd even hit a point where areas where I knew I could save time, I could consistently save time without overloading myself on what I could and couldn't do. Ah, that's the other thing I'm nervous about, is the rocks. So, how did that race go?